So you had these stories. I'm really curious. How do you make the music? Who starts off? Is it do you start off with beats or?
This time we started off with the stories. Bianca was on her typewriter. Now this is just one example. It really is, different song to song. But she did, work early hours in the morning in her typewriter, and the sound of that kind of woke me up, and I would get up and start playing around with instruments, and came together that way.
But did the words, did they have some sort of melody in them, or is it something that, well, you have to make up after the stories were written?
I think that the melodies are formed around the character to bring and highlight what is in between the lines.
And you also work with Tess again?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, we work with Tez in our live show, and it's been, 8 years now or something. But what we haven't done is bring beatboxing into our live recordings very much, at least not for a really long time. So this is new, and we brought him with us to Iceland and wanted a different sound with beats. We wanted something, that's more similar to our live show, I guess.
Yeah. And also 2 songs with Antony. Well, you work together a lot. How often do you see each other?
Lately we've been seeing each other a lot. Whenever we get a chance, really. We've been close all of these years since we met, really towards the beginning of our career. And we started a group together called the Future Feminists. And it's really not a musical group or even an art group, really, although the 5 of us are artists and performance artists. So that's a big priority for us when we're not in separate doing work. We've been getting together. And
what's your goal with it, the Future Feminists?
Well, one goal is just to we have some kind of practical goals, like we're working on a book that offers a lot of solutions and invitation into a new way of looking at feminism. One of our goals is to redefine feminism and allow it to be a transformative state. We have encountered a lot of adversity from surprising places. There's a lot of women who are very reticent to identify as feminist. And
can you name me one?
Well, I think a lot of, Lady Gaga is kind of a simple one. That's, she was quoted saying, "I'm not a feminist, I love man." And I think that illustrates an interesting misconception about feminism. And we're interested in really putting the focus on feminism as being the celebration of the feminine. It doesn't say anything about loving or not loving men. And
we want to join. We want you to join. We want to invite everyone to come join the celebration.
Maybe the name has some sort of negative connotation, feminism. Maybe choose another name, I don't know.
Well, choosing another name feels like giving up, and it feels like abandoning a lot of work that women have done, and it seems kind of inappropriate. certainly that's what a lot of people have suggested. And that's sort of when we started calling ourselves feminists, is when we started to see firsthand how many women would like to be a part of our group if we changed the name. And that's precisely what inspired us to try to start approaching it without shame. So we're pretty dedicated to calling ourselves feminists.
Well, but you did 2 songs with Antony. Why specifically these 2 songs, Tears for Animals and Poison? Or just the way it turned out, I don't know.
Well, both. I mean, Tears for Animals, Antony has been a big teacher in a way about finding love and concern for ecology. It's not necessarily what's naturally heavy on our hearts, you know. I think everybody and a lot of different artists have certain affinities which relates to their nature. So I always figured that the earth would repair itself and humans would die, and I was kind of comforted by that idea. So Antony is representing the voice of Mother Nature in this song for us.
And Poison?
That one's a bit more mysterious. I think we just love recording together, and I don't know.
I don't remember.
Okay. Okay, we'll stop. The first song to open with this a song title After the Afterlife. What's that song about? Or don't you know?
I find that one the hardest to talk about. It's about time, and it's about ritual and kind of madness, like human madness, obsession with money, and
But if you write, you just write in a constant flow, and then afterwards you see what.
often, yeah. For sure, that song was just.
We're still learning.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are helping us understand.
No, but you can. Sometimes people really pick every word. They just one line is just a few hours of work. But you also have the conscious flow of I don't know how you call it, but you are more from the flow and then see what the song.
See, and also respect, the mystery of what has transpired.
Yeah.
Not always, having a goal to contain or reduce, refine, or even understand. A lot of times it's a marriage of us maybe having some intention and hope and some messages, and also, the art being a full part of that, a marriage of really the art having a space of its own to live and be whatever it is.
Okay, well, I have to stop now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.